Hey, I'm Tyler Boronski. You're watching my YouTube channel where I interview some recognizable faces in the digital space. Today's guest, she might be the exception of not having been too bored during quarantine. In just 3 short months, she's gone from 0 followers on TikTok to over 5 million people watching her content. She's 16 years old from San Diego, and like most high school girls, loves Timothee Chalamet. She's Ellie Zeiler. How are you, Ellie?
I'm doing great after that intro. I'd like to be introduced like that every time I go somewhere. Thank you.
Be honest, now that you have the following, have you tried reaching out to Timothee at all?
No, I haven't. Me, like a lot of girls, are probably sad right now because he actually came out that he has a girlfriend this week.
Did he really?
So, yeah.
What would you say if you met him? What do you think you would say?
I don't know.
Ask him to collab on a TikTok. That would be the best bet. We'll get into TikTok. Of course, that's where your fans know you from. But when I found out you were on Chop Jr., I was like, show some love to Chop Jr. I'm one of those like Food Network fans that, doesn't really actually cook, but I like to watch those type of shows. What was the process of getting onto that show? How did that happen?
So basically, I am not like a pro chef. I wanted to be on TV and kind of experience that whole being interviewed and everything like that. And so one night I was laying in bed watching Chop Jr. with my mom, and I was in 6th grade. Okay, yeah. So it's a whole story. I was in 6th grade, and she was like, "You could so be on this show," and I'm like, "There's no way." So without me knowing, she signed me up, and then the next day, the casting lady was like, "We're casting. Like, we really want to do an interview," and I'm like, "Great." So I go through all of these interviews, like Skype interviews. Meanwhile, I'm literally like 11 years old, having to talk to these people from New York. I love New York. That's where I want to go to college. And so I was so excited. I get on, film it, and then the best part of the whole experience is that year, so I live in San Diego, and so I lived in San Diego, and then in 7th grade, my family moved to North Carolina for 1 year. And the day that Chop Jr. aired was my first day of school at like new school. So everyone thought I was like the coolest, and I was so excited that was the date that they chose.
So you knew how to have the clout kind of before. You've had the clout early.
Yeah, totally. Everyone's like, well, it was so exciting for me, but people from my new school were like, "Oh, duh, of course she's on TV. Like, she's from California." And I'm like, no, I'm like freaking out. This is so cool.
That's the stereotype. Everyone in California is in a TV show or movie.
Totally.
That's so funny. What's that feeling like when you open up the baskets for the first time and you see the random ingredients they throw in?
I was so scared. So many people asked me if it's like real, and it's totally real. Like the timer, the 30 minutes, like you opening it up, like it's so real and it's so scary. And I wasn't even tall enough to reach the basket. I like stand on this like stool and like look over. So basically on my episode in the 2nd round, they gave me a duck, and I was so scared. Like imagine opening up a basket and there's just a duck's face like looking at you. Just tensions were high. It was so hot in the kitchen.
Props to you for handling that at, what'd you say, 11, 12 years old you were doing that?
Yeah, I was 12.
Oh my gosh. We'll get into TikTok a little bit. Like I said, this is still pretty new to you. It's only been posted your first video at the end of March. At that time though, TikTok's been popular for a while. Why join them?
A lot of people don't know this, but I wasn't allowed to have TikTok until quarantine started. Like I had it on my phone, but with school and everything, I'm going to be a junior now, but I'm like super busy with school and sports and everything. And so on my phone, my mom put screen time on my phone. And so I had like an hour of Snapchat, 30 minutes of Instagram, and TikTok. I literally had 1 minute because she couldn't figure out how to get it to 0 minutes. So I had time to scroll through like 2 videos and then it'd just be over and like the screen time would go up. And so at the first week of quarantine, my brother Will actually told me he figured out our screen time password. And so I put it in, and like that's when I first made my TikTok. And so I post my videos and everyone's like, why'd you just start now? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to have it. Like, this is crazy.
When did you tell your mom you broke the code and that you posted on TikTok now?
That's a really good question. Like 2nd or 3rd video blew up, and that's when I told her. I was expecting her to get mad at me. She wasn't even mad. She's just like, I have a video of when my first video blew up like in the morning, and she was like recording me, and I'm like freaking out, and she's freaking out, and it's just like we're freaking out about it. So we didn't even think about it until I was actually, this is so full circle. I was interviewed when I had 1 million followers like this. She had no idea. Like, we didn't even think about it like that until someone asked us.
Well, at what point did you realize that you're shifting more to like a public figure? There's a difference between someone that just has a viral video to someone that actually has fans and, like I said, is a personality. So at what point did you realize that?
Instead of like a video blowing up, because I have friends where they make TikToks all the time, and like one video gets like 1 million views, and then their next video could get 5,000 views. And so mine was really like a growth. It was kind of like this. So my first video that I had got like 50K views, and I was freaking out about that. Then my second video had like 500K views, and freaking out about that. Third video, 500K views. And then like my sixth video got like, I think it was like 5 million views overnight. Now it's at like 30 million.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm always expecting my videos to like, it's like this, but yeah, it was like a, what's this?
Quick.
Linear growth.
Oh, bro, I haven't been in school in a while. I can't answer that stuff. How into making content were you beforehand?
Again, wow, great questions. So many people don't know this about me. I had a YouTube channel that I posted videos on. I was the director of my school's film program, and so I was always making content for them. I really like behind the scenes things like editing and stuff like that. Obviously, I was on Instagram, Snapchat, but nothing that actually blew up like this. But I did have a YouTube channel, and I privated all the videos because I didn't want people seeing that.
Probably smart. What type of content were you into making?
For the school side, I had to keep it like professional and be like, it was more of like a newscast and news program. And so I just had to edit it like that and kind of do what my teacher like told me to do, but I still like did it. Content for myself wise, and I just made videos that I liked watching and that I still like watching, like makeup routine videos, vlogs, outfit videos, just anything that was kind of in that realm. And then I'm actually starting up my YouTube again this week.
Okay.
So that's
exciting. Wow. Have you filmed a video yet for YouTube channel?
Not yet. So me being me, my mom was so annoyed about this. I got my camera in the mail 2 days ago, and I brought it to vlog in my friend's car yesterday, and I left it in her car, and she lives in like the LA, like Orange County area. So now I don't know how I'm gonna get it.
You have to do like the phone videos, phone vlog or whatever to start off, something like that. I can't imagine what it's like to go from 0 to that many people, you know, watching what you post, what you comment, good or bad. So how was that at first, adjusting to just that many eyeballs, seeing what you do?
It was actually really hard for me. I think a lot of people my age at least get like the stereotype for being like, oh, I want TikTok clout and all this stuff. But I wasn't really looking for it. It just happened because I was bored in quarantine, which is kind of the whole crazy story of it. But it's been really hard, especially with Instagram, just because I've had Instagram since like 5th grade, and I had 1,000 followers when this first started. And so it was really hard. It still is hard for me posting things that goes on during my day when like people who have been following me for years and like my friends in real life follow me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that made sense, but
No.
It's hard. It's like hard for me to mix in these new people with the people that I've known in real life my whole life. But it's definitely exciting. And seeing things where like I'll comment on someone's post and people will be like, hi Ellie, and I'm like, oh, how'd you guys know I was here? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, you sometimes kind of forget, right? You just post, you know, whatever, and they're like, oh, don't want people to see it. Right now, like, it's crazy. Every time you like leave a comment, some like news, like the Clever News and all those people, I'm like, that's good. I can't imagine.
It's crazy. I'll comment something on a post that has like 2,000 likes, and I'm like, oh, this is just on my For You page. Like, no one's gonna see it. And I'll just like comment like saying like yes or like OMG or like I remember like that, and then it gets posted on a newsroom, and I'm like, guys, I didn't think I was that like. I didn't think people were watching me do this.
I want to kind of go back to what you're saying with meeting these new people and kind of mixing them in, because your growth is so unique in a sense too that it happened during quarantines. The influencer community seems pretty well connected. All the big creators know the other big creators. But as you're getting big, you can't meet a lot of these people in person, at least to start. So how often or were you being connected with these other creators during this quarantine period?
I remember when I first started and I hit like 1 million followers, and I was on the phone with my mom and my agents, and I was like, I'm so sad. It's like a blessing and a curse, because I think of it as, when I first started, I'm like, I'm so sad. Like, I can't go to LA and like meet all these people that I've like looked up to and idolized or watched before this even happened. So that's definitely been hard and challenging. And I've really realized that it's up to me. It's not up to like people setting up meetings for me. Like, I have to go out and do it myself, which has been really difficult. But it's been like a blessing and a curse, because I feel like if I wasn't in quarantine and I hit 1 million followers in, it was like 2 weeks, and I went to LA, I would be so intimidated and scared by all of these people that I've looked up to or followed and watched their content. But now that I've had like 3 months to really be in it and grown myself, and now I have more followers, when I do go to LA, I kind of feel like I know who I am, and so now it's kind of just like spreading who I am. I don't know, I feel like I've grown so much, but a few months ago I would have gone in and been like shy and timid. All of my friends are like, have you like gone here? And I'm like, no, I haven't gone there. Like, Corona, do you remember what's going on?
You had the chance to process what's been happening these last few months. But yeah, you gotta do all the typical influencer stuff after everything's back to normal. You gotta do the famous birthday interviews, Lighthouse, all that stuff. Speaking of that, you just went to the Clubhouse recently, the social media house. What'd you do while you're there? What was, I guess, the people you met there as well?
That's so funny. I went there for 2 hours, and everyone's like, are you joining the Clubhouse? And I'm like, guys, I'm 16. I'm not allowed to move out of my house. Like, still have to go to college and everything. But I love the people in the Clubhouse. I love anyone that I meet in LA. Everyone is so nice. Everyone is like exactly how they are in real life. And a lot of people are really nice. There's some people that are rude, but it's whatever, that's life. I compare TikTok so much to high school. With like the different friend groups and like the different houses and stuff like that. Yeah, so I just went to the Clubhouse. I was just with my friends, Seb and Isaac. It's just like hanging out with your real friends. It's not like you go and you're like, let's make TikToks the whole time. You go and you're like, hang out.
I get it, because like I'll help out some other creators with their YouTube channels, like Mark Anastasio and Luca Lombardo, if you know who they are.
Yeah, I do.
And when they're just hanging out, they're just normal like high school kids, until we go anywhere else, and then they have all their fans swarm them, and it's just like, okay, it's normal until it isn't normal. I don't know, sometimes maybe the fans and just how the media maybe portrays it, it's larger than life sometimes.
And I think about it like when I go out to Target or something and someone spots me, I'm like, oh my God, it's like my friend. Like, I don't think about it as like a fan or something. I feel like I really know these people, which is the best, because in school, I didn't have a lot of friends at all. I've moved schools a lot. And so now seeing people that like in public who like me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you guys too. Like, we're best friends now.
I think that's a good way to approach it. What would be a dream opportunity for you? Now that you have the success on TikTok, more people know your name, your face, obviously. What would be something cool for you to happen?
My dream ever since I was younger, I've always wanted to have a makeup company. And so hopefully this can like help me get to that point. I've always had a makeup company. My dream, like a lot of people, I don't know how I'm going to do this with TikTok and everything, but my dream is to be on Vogue. So, or like working with Vogue. Always wanted to go to NYU. That's my dream school. So hopefully this can help me get there. It's like a trampoline for where I want to go later.
Totally. Did you do the Vogue trend on TikTok? Did you do one of those?
I didn't do one of those. People look I'm like, guys, like, what are you doing? People are like doing the Vogue things with like their shirts off, like guys. And I'm like, what are you disrespecting Vogue?
Yeah, I've seen some of them too. And I'm like, you kind of need some of the higher quality photos too. We gotta choose the right photos if you can put Vogue's text on it. Last question for you. Like I was saying earlier, with growth happening so quick, and it seems like because of social media platforms like TikTok. It's just becoming quicker for someone to, I don't want to say overnight, but pretty close to that. For the next person that's in a position similar to you, that's going to have their life changed, kind of go 360, what advice would you give them as far as handling and adjusting to this lifestyle?
I have a few things because I've learned so much from this. First of all, if you are trying to go viral off of TikTok, make sure you're getting followers for something that you actually want to do and want to be known for. I know so many people that get views on one video for, like, example, spreading hate or making fun of someone. The question you have to ask yourself is, when someone asks you, like, why do you have followers, you want to make sure that it's something that you're proud of, instead of being like, oh, I got clout one time on TikTok because I made fun of someone. Another thing is making sure that you are strong. My family knows I have really thick skin. I have like a soft, like, I'm like, what's a fruit I'm like a coconut. Inside I'm soft and sweet, and on the outside I have to like deflect, like the hard shell. I have to like deflect all these hate comments, because at the end of the day, people's comments don't matter. It's really interesting because I've been told this by so many people, but it's really something that you have to learn yourself. If it's really gonna work, people can tell you things all day, but if you don't do it yourself, then it's not going to really affect you in the way. Know who you are before going into having 1 million to 5 million people judging you every day.
I think that's a great point, that you should post content almost like if 5 million people are watching, or even if you don't have that type of platform, it is to put out content that you're proud of. And you would be okay if 5 million people saw it, even if 5 million people don't. So I think that's good advice. She is Ellie Zeiler. Ellie, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And best of luck with what's next for you.
Thank you for having me.